What is going on, you guys? So basically, this is my second funded account right here. I kind of overtraded a little bit, but it was part Asia session and then part of New York session. I am up 1,400 on it. So basically, I'm gonna do a little rundown on what I do in like the day in the life of working a 9 to 5 while doing this at the same time, because you can't be fully profitable if you work in a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But basically, what I've been doing lately is I'll hop in Asia session, even though it's not super quick or anything, but you can kind of determine the bias, which way the market's going to go in Asia session, especially because it goes a bit slower. But basically, my daily routine, you know, I get up in the morning around 6 a.m. Central, and I'll slowly get my day going. I'll get some breakfast, I'll get some coffee going. You know what I'm saying? Got some right here. Gotta get the day going somehow, if you know what I'm saying. And then I'll hop on the charts by 7 to 7:30, which is around the time 8:30 open happens for New York, and I'll hop in, try and figure out my bias, my trades within that 30-minute range. Before then, I'll maybe chill, watch YouTube, or kind of like go over some stuff. Um, but then I'll hop in, get some trades, do whatever I got to do. And then once that's done, I may trade 9:30 open, but not literally for a couple minutes. Just depends on how I was looking in the morning. And then I'll go to work around 9ish or so. I'll work, Monday through Friday. But then after that, I usually come home for a minute, do whatever. I'll go to the gym, or I will hop on the charts by 7 or so my time, which is 8 p.m. New York, and it's also Asia Open. So then I will enter some of those trades lately, especially to get these accounts going and growing. And so basically, it's not a whole lot because most of my day gets taken up with work. But this is kind of like how to work around a 9 to 5. A lot of people will kind of say, like, do the higher time frames so that way you can only look at it, or so that way you're able to look at it, kind of within a couple hours. Sometimes I did this more with my Top Step accounts a couple months back, where I do it at work. During like break or whatever, my lunch, I would enter some. But now it's just I usually get it done around New York or Asia session, and then I just get my work day over with. But people will talk about the higher time frame, so that way you're able to look around it every couple hours. But honestly, if you can find kind of like a way to trade before or after work, see, because with my time, since I'm an hour before New York Open, it kind of helps with New York, and then Asia's just at the end of the day. So I would kind of go off of those because Asia still has some volatility, and it's pretty good still no matter what. Lately, there's been some reversals with Asia session, so I kind of predict those, and I'll enter in those, and it'll be some good shorts, kind of retrace into some lows. But you just kind of have to work around work in a sense in order to figure out your edge. So that's something kind of which you have to figure out yourself. Before, I would literally be waking up around 8 to 8:15 my time, which is literally right before New York 9:30 open, which like half asleep, like just entering in the markets, whatever. But then, I kind of got to the point and I was like, all right, so like I, you know, I gotta grind, right? So then I started waking up a bit earlier, get my day going, kind of get started, wake up a little bit more, hop in by 8:30 open instead of 9:30 open. Gives you a lot of time to kind of get a good analysis and look over the markets, kind of figure it out. I usually depends on how my trades look. I will take about 1 to maybe 4 trades, just depends, and go from there. But it helps out a lot once I like actually got it down, because I would do 9:30 open and it would give me no time for me to trade and then go to work, So I went in a bit earlier, so I do 8:30 open. It's not as fast. You don't really have the 10 a.m. or 4-hour candle at that time, but you can still get some sort of movement in that time frame. So depending on like where you're located or whatever, you just kind of have to figure out what you can do. Good thing about 9:30 open is that it's more volatile, faster movement. You can probably enter in and exit, like make a couple $100 within just a couple of minutes, so it's really quick. That was kind of what I did before, but it wasn't as good as what I'm on now. So what I've been doing now helps me out a lot, and I got both of these funded now. The one that my most recent one, which I got about 2 days ago, I'm up 1,400 on it, which I had traded Asia on Thursday, and then I traded New York on Friday, and that puts me at 1,400 on the account as my total profits for this. And my other one, I'm up about $800 on it right now. So we're kind of just in the process, just slowly keeping it going and staying in that consistency level, because MFFU has that. I don't really have any other accounts. I've had Apex and Top Step. Top Step's fantastic. And what I could see is MFFU is as well. I like how they have the calendars too. Top Step X is amazing, especially with their copy trading. It's fantastic. I just didn't stick with Top Step for too long. But it is very good. But trying out MFFU, it's pretty nice. But that's kind of basically like a rundown of like what kind of helped me going. You just have to figure out what's good for you and what you are trying to accomplish, and kind of just have to get down a daily routine that you can follow through, and that isn't like completely out of your way or makes it kind of like more tough to get to, in a sense, so that way you're not at work just constantly looking at the 1 minute and you're doing that. Asia session's one of the best things. I couldn't really tell you about, like, if you're in a different country or whatever and the time's completely off, because it would be like 3 p.m. and it's like New York Open or something. That is a different story. But a lot of times you could wait till like Asia or London. There's all these different sections. They all have their different kind of things. Like they may take out one session's highs. Just look at the previous sessions and look and see what it does, and kind of predict from there where it's going to go, and determine your bias and go from there. You can trade any session, just may not be as volatile as New York or whatever. So you just have to figure out what's best for you or what you can do right now in this time. But that is something that has helped me out. Journaling is also a number one thing that is good. Lately I've been journaling a lot of my trades, and it does help out a lot. The last like 2 or 3 I haven't really journaled as much, but it is good. And just overall journaling is good for your day-to-day life. It is something that has helped kind of improve something for me as well. So it's something good to like look at. But I mean, hopefully y'all got something out of this video. But I'm just here to help out, questions, whatever. I got you.